Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Tuesday, the 23rd of September. With McShane, we continue working our way through Paul's second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 12 today. Paul continues the defense of his ministry against the claims of the false teachers and the super apostles. They said that they had status, they had visions, they had all sorts of things which would make them important. And Paul basically says, I could boast better than them. He says, I will go on to visions and revelations from the Lord. And he doesn't claim it himself. He says, I know a man, clearly he's talking about himself, who's had these wonderful visions. And then he says in verse 7, therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So despite all that he'd seen and all that he'd done and all that he was achieving and everything that was going on, there was a thorn in the flesh. There's been lots of discussion about what that thorn in the flesh might be, and people have come up with different ideas, that it was his failing eyesight, or he had eye issues and eye disease, or some other disease, or some other weakness or frailty that reminded him of his weakness in front of the Lord, and therefore he had to depend on the Lord. And for me, this is whatever that might have been, it's a great encouragement, because Paul was recognizing that God doesn't depend on our strength. He depends on our being willing to be weak. God doesn't only work when we're confident. He works when we're not confident. And a few verses later, he carries on and says, for when I am weak, then I am strong. God doesn't want strong people. He's happy to work with weak people. Strong people end up being confident in themselves and relying on themselves and doing what they can do the way they can, using their strength and their ability. God says, no, I want somebody to rely on me. And therefore, in our weakness, we can be strong. And God continues to work like that. And I've certainly found in my ministry that there are times when I've done something and thought, that went rather well. I've put in the effort. I've done what I needed to. And that was good. And nobody's commented on it. And it seemed like actually it didn't carry much weight at all. And other times where you've put in the work and the effort and you think, I didn't actually get it. I missed the point. That was not the main thing, and I didn't present well, and there was all of these issues around it, and you come away feeling compromised and not quite up to speed, and yet often then people come and say, that was wonderful, that was so good, and you think, but it wasn't. And then you realize that it wasn't wonderful and good, but God used it, and it was God who's wonderful, God who's good, God who's strong, God can do it. And for me, as Christians, we go on through our lives depending on Him, not on ourselves, knowing that we can say with Paul, when we're weak in the Lord, then we're strong because of the Lord. So be encouraged in our weakness, in our frailty. God continues to work. It is amazing. It is grace, and we are blessed.